Yeah.
What's up?
Best
What's up,
freaking
Dale?
college sports show on the internet. I'm Dale Earnhardt.
Dude, why are you Dale Earnhardt today? What's
Yeah, I
going
got
on?
this mustache going. What do you think about that? Huh?
Are you driving around Johnson City and like getting in people's rearview mirrors? You
Oh,
getting
yeah.
real up close to them with that mustache?
Yeah. Oh, I get on Rome Street, give them the old bump and run. Yeah.
Yeah.
It, it ain't, rubber is racing. Okay.
Are you telling the police that you're just drafting or what?
Yeah. I was just
When you
drafted.
when you get pulled, I'm just
Yeah.
drafting.
Yeah. I got pulled over. I said, sir, I'm the intimidator. Okay. So everybody needs to get out of my way. Yeah, I got this. Listen, I was just doing I got to plug my show, the Josh Mancuso show. Right, we had 5 episodes last year, season 1. Now we got season 2 kicking off here soon. So we just filmed yesterday in Charlotte, North Carolina, with Todd Gilliland, NASCAR driver. So I've been channeling my best NASCAR mustache. I need to let it grow. It looks like I just got some extra hair on my lip, but I need to keep
It's
it
starting
going.
to come in though. How long are you going to let it go for?
I don't know until my wife makes me stop, probably.
Okay, so right after the show or
So
what?
tonight, yeah. Man, you're back. You weren't here last week, and you're back.
I heard that it was a 10 times better show without me. That's what everybody
No, we
said.
had some experts on the show. They acted like they knew what they were talking about, but they
Yeah,
did
they
not.
probably did. They did
Yeah.
not?
No, they're terrible. Just ask Heisman Dave if he gets in here today. He'd tell you all about
Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
garbage. It's good. Just like a bad case of herpes, we're back again. And
we won't
this
leave
week
you alone.
we just won't go away. Lots. All right, so we want to talk about. We got Senior Bowl coming up.
Senior Bowl. That's yeah, that was a big thing this week. Did you
Yeah.
watch it?
No. Well, the game is it already happened? I thought it was this coming Saturday, isn't it?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah, it's this coming Saturday is the game, but they've been practicing all week.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
you got to
had
practice.
it's like they have like a combine type practice where they get all the stats and give everybody's measurements and all this stuff. So
Right. Yeah, they
looking forward to
combine all
that.
those stats and measurements together to make something. So that I don't know.
to make some
I don't know.
something.
And the East-West Shrine Bowl, that's happening too. Which is great. That I mean, I guess they should have a North-South Shrine Bowl. That seems like a civil war in the making.
Yeah, it does. That seemed like it could get off the rails.
You can't do that, Ken. You can't do a
No,
North-South game.
no, especially not anymore. Especially
No.
not anymore. Ole
you
Miss
go
game would be the Rebels now. You can't do a
Oh,
Northwest.
y'all misses.
You
They're
know.
gonna be playing for the South. You know that.
Yeah, yeah, they are.
You can't watch the North-South game and cheer for the South. That's over. You're done. You're canceled. You can get over that.
That's it.
Wow.
Oh God.
Well, it didn't take us long to go off the rails here. That's good. Senior Bowl though is something that you and I never played in.
We sure did not.
You know, but seems to be going well so far for Dylan and Gabriel. That's my boy, DG,
Yeah.
as I
It
call
is your
him.
boy.
Yeah, D Gabe.
And you met him where?
I met him a couple times. I met him when he played at Oklahoma, played quarterback there.
Really?
That was his middle school. I mean, not middle school. That was his second.
It wasn't his middle school, dude.
It was his second school.
He went to 7th grade at Oklahoma. He was that smart and that athletic.
He graduated early from
straight to
straight to the top.
That's pure.
His second school, which was in the middle of UCF and Oregon, was Oklahoma. I met him out there. Great, really nice kid. Not super tall. I can tell you, he's shorter than me, I think, or maybe we're about the same height. He's like 5'10", so he's got a little Doug Flutie in him, I think. But good guy, good kid. Okay. Yeah. We got a graphic here. He's having a pretty good week of Senior Bowl practice, I believe. Oh gosh, look at this. 74.9 miles per hour, the fastest recorded throw ever.
Ever in history of humans. Wow. 75 miles an hour. That's hard to even believe.
And using his left hand.
Yeah, imagine if he threw it with his right hand.
Right, he'd probably launch it. 120.
Yeah. No, that's
74.9. That's impressive right there. Wow. So okay. And as he's wearing a special helmet for the Senior Bowl, I think has got Yeah,
Yeah,
got some.
this is really cool. This is really cool that most players don't do this, that he kinda honored every stop he was at, and he even has Oklahoma Middle School in there.
right there.
Oklahoma Middle. Yeah.
OMS, Oklahoma Middle School.
Who's the principal at OMS?
Yeah, who's the?
Got
I think I could be the principal at OMS.
with that mustache, I think you could
Hmm.
be.
Yeah, golly, this
Oh,
is.
man.
I love it, and you know, yeah, a lot of guys don't do this. They kind of roll with their last school, which makes sense, their final school. But I
Sure.
mean, he started at UCF, went to Oklahoma, he kind of went all across the United States. It's kind of like the Oregon Trail. He started in Florida,
Yep.
went through the middle through Oklahoma, and ended up in Oregon. He went the
It
whole
is
length of the country.
absolutely, absolutely. He let the oxen graze. He survived disease and dysentery, attacks from enemy.
He did.
I mean, huge.
Pretty epic. Uh, love the kid. Great. Yeah, good stuff. Custom helmet wearing all those stickers. That's great. Um, if you're just tuning in, which we got some people watching, feel free to drop a comment in here. If you want us to talk about anything, or if you want to just comment on, uh, Caleb's awesome high school helmet behind him, or
Yeah.
anything
Josh's
like
sweet
that.
mustache and his
Yeah,
driving habits.
look at that. Look at that baby. Mm. I feel more grown up with this mustache.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's I mean, so you've grown up from, like, age 10 to, like, age 14 or
Yeah. Still middle school, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, if you're watching, make sure you're checking out Honorable Mention Sports. That's our sports media company. We're doing some great work over there.
It's just
Uh,
yeah, wow. The Lord's work over there.
yeah, it's huge. And you follow us right there: Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, which is still available in the United States, and Facebook. So make sure you check us out on all those channels. Thanks for following me. I appreciate that. Please keep doing that, but make sure you check out Honorable Mention Sports. We got a comment here, Caleb. We got a Notre Dame fan, Kira. Notre Dame fan. I laughed so hard at the
Mhm.
skit. Catholics, no, rich Catholics. Love your stuff. Thank you very much. That was very appropriate to. I love putting out videos like a couple years ago, and then I can bring it back when it's relevant. Like Notre Dame just won, right? So I can bring
Yeah.
back that video.
Yeah,
And
that's easy work.
lives on. Yeah, I don't have to make any new ones. I just keep replaying the old ones,
Heck yeah.
right?
Awesome.
Just cashing checks.
Well, who else do we have from the Senior Bowl this week as they're working out? I think we got Jalen Milrose next. He
Yeah,
had a rough week. Yeah, rough week for Milrose, what we're hearing.
yeah, I know. I hate that. It's Backyard Breaks here is putting this stuff out, and so it's a subpar week for him. I
Yeah.
mean,
That
he's
kinda goes
registered.
on with the rest kind of the season, honestly.
Yeah,
His draft stock has definitely fallen since August.
yeah, yeah. I hate that for him because I love this kid. Really good guy, and tremendous athlete. Think about some of the games he's played and some of the heroics that he's had at
Oh, sure.
Alabama. I mean, if you're a starting quarterback at Alabama for even 1 year, but for 2 years for sure, you're gonna have a shot to play in the NFL, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're gonna do it. As this says, yeah, tough day at Senior Bowl, struggling with accuracy, decision making, multiple interceptions, Senior Bowl practice, I should say, skipped passes, and an 8 throw miss streak in drills, and put him behind Jackson Dart, Riley Leonard in the quarterback competition. Which I mean, I get it, but it is what it is. But really, what's going to matter for him, I guess, going forward is going to be the combine, NFL combine, when he gets
Probably.
into that, right?
That's gonna be the most important.
Because the dude is a specimen. I mean, he's 6'2" or 6'3" or whatever. He's ripped. He's got an arm. He can run. He can throw. He's smart, really smart. So I think. What do you think? You think Jalen Milroe is going to be an NFL quarterback?
It's hard to see it with some of the games he played, like at Oklahoma, the way he played against Michigan. Now, that's not all his fault. There's a ton of people that were sitting against Michigan.
Mm,
So, I don't know, that one's hard, but it's just hard to say he's a legitimate NFL quarterback. And then the way they didn't score at Oklahoma, it's just, I don't know. I didn't watch a ton of Alabama games, like, start to
yeah,
finish, but he's definitely not my top pick. I tell you that. I don't know. What do you think?
I think he's a good enough athlete that he'll make it. He'll just he'll keep keep going. And if he doesn't, then the kid really is sharp. He's a scholar
Really?
athlete. He can do whatever he wants in life, I think. So I think he views football as a let's say a bonus or just something exciting he gets to do, and he's good at it and he's playing it, and I think he loves it. But I think he'll give it his best. And I hope he. I think he will definitely get drafted. I think he'll definitely go in the first round. Um,
Yeah.
and I think he'll. I think he could have some success. He might be. I don't know. He might be kind of a Hendon Hooker situation, right, where he goes, doesn't get to play first couple of years, just to kind of see what happens, and he'll just have to wait for his opportunity. Yeah.
Man, I'm just convinced more and more in the NFL, so much of those guys being successful is where they go.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I mean, if you go to a good program or a good team that has a solid infrastructure with good players around you, like they can turn some pretty average guys into pretty decent. And even the best of quarterbacks, when they go into these horrific situations like Carolina, I mean, Tennessee Titans are kind of looking
Yeah.
like that. I mean, they're just doomed. Like they're
Yeah.
absolutely doomed from the start. Like it's not like baseball if you're a starting pitcher, like you're still the guy on the hill, right?
Yeah.
Or a hitter. I mean, man, it's crazy. So it may even be a blessing for him if he's not like a first round draft pick and he goes somewhere that has like a decent team, decent offensive line. You know what I'm saying?
I agree 100%. I mean, I think a guy like Hendon Hooker goes to the Lions. Well, he's behind Jared Goff. He's not going to see a game unless they're killing somebody, and Goff's got plenty of years left in him. So Hendon's got to be hoping for a trade or something to happen for him to be able to be a starter, because I think he's good enough. Yeah, Milroe, same kind of thing. I think I told Drew this on the NFL show that he hosts, which you guys need to tune into. Make sure you're watching him talk NFL stuff. Is you know a lot of these teams, Titans specifically, I think, they've made the decision to draft a quarterback early and make him their quarterback. It was Will Levis. Before that, it was Malik Willis,
Oh
from
yeah.
Liberty, right? I mean, and it's not working out. Like they
No.
need to, and maybe they're going to do this. They're going to need to trade their pick and go trade for a quarterback. Go get a seasoned quarterback who can at least get them competitive, and then get somebody else. Then draft a fourth rounder, fifth rounder, and stick them in there behind there as a backup. Yeah, but they got to do something.
They got to do something. Well, one of the things that you're seeing in the NFL is that one of the blueprints right now is get a great team and then get a quarterback that's still on his rookie contract, because you've got enough cap space to actually build a team around them. That's not the only blueprint, but it's definitely one of the more popular blueprints right now. Is like, if we can get a decent quarterback on a rookie contract, then we can actually build a team around them. The problem is some of those teams are so crappy that you can't even tell if that rookie quarterback's any good or not,
Right.
So,
right.
yeah.
And when you look at the success Jaden Daniels is having, I don't know that anybody really thought he would have that kind of success in the NFL. I mean, he's been lights out.
Yeah, he's been incredible. I mean, he's great, but that level of success as a rookie is just hard to believe.
It's big time. Bryce Young, not having it.
No,
it could be the team. It's just a lot of factors. It's tough getting these rookie quarterbacks right in there, and putting everything on their shoulders. That's tough. That's tough today. You just need some time to go. So somebody that's having some great reviews right now is Jackson Dart during the Senior Bowl practice.
Oh yeah.
So these folks labeled him elite so far.
Elite, like your jokes. Elite.
Call elite like my mustache.
Like your mustache. Elite.
Right, elite like Caleb, first team all conference in high school. That's elite.
Yes. I was second team, but yes.
Second team, Chris, better than me.
Still elite.
I was honorable mention.
Yeah.
So, Jackson Dart here making a legitimate case to be first quarterback off the board. I can't read that because we have text over it, but in this year's draft, scouts are buzzing about his performance. Some ranking him above Shedeur Sanders, project him as a potential top 10
I like
pick.
it. When you think about the defenses that Jackson Dart faced, he faced defenses that are a lot closer caliber to NFL than Shedeur Sanders did.
Yeah.
So,
Georgia, LSU, all these. Yeah, I mean, he faced the top. But so Browns and Giants are already showing interest. I would love to see.
It is crazy because they think it's going to be Shedeur or Cam Ward.
Right.
Are going to be the two, and that is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time I've heard of anybody saying Jackson Dart above Shedeur, but taking a quarterback over taking a defensive back or wide receiver, whatever they do with them. I can see it. I can see that.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a Titans fan. I wouldn't hate it if the Titans took Jackson Dart. I know no one's talking about that, but I would not hate it at all.
Yeah.
So,
Bill Redding here comments. What do you think about Will Howard's draft stock? I mean,
woo,
I'll answer that. I think it's
yeah,
up. It's up. I mean, your national championship winning quarterback, he dropped some dimes in there, throwing it in places where only the receiver can catch it.
yeah,
Some tight spots. I mean, great leader, leads his team, on a huge run. They win the whole
yep,
thing. Great kid. I mean, he's a draftable quarterback. If I'm an offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, even a head coach, I'm looking at the character of the quarterback as well. I'm looking at just his teachability, coachability, his leadership, and does he have the skills? Then we can mold him. And I think Howard's good. I think he's got a shot. I don't know. I mean, second or third round. I don't know. I mean, what do you think?
I do. Yes, the throws that he made in the college football playoff in all 4 of those games were incredible. I mean, incredible. He made throws game in, game out, and he didn't make any really crazy dumb decisions that I can remember offhand. I don't remember him really turning the ball over at all in those 4 games. So,
No.
yeah, Will Howard's draft stock's got to be soaring. I mean, like I said, Titans fan, I wouldn't hate if they traded out of the number 1 pick and got some players behind the Titans and then took a guy like Will Howard later. I mean, so I would love that. So, yeah, I like Will Howard for sure.
Absolutely. Another guy having some success here during the Senior Bowl practices and the East-West Shrine Bowl practices is Kobe Bryant, defensive back out of Kansas. Man, this guy is. I mean, they're calling him a lockdown corner,
Lockdown,
and looking pretty good. Locking down receivers, impressing scouts and executives, climbing draft boards, drawing comparisons to Terrion Arnold. I mean, I think you look at some teams that are willing to go for a defensive back in the first round. I think
they are sometimes
likely to be the first defensive back off the board, possibly. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, he'll do well wherever he goes. Defensive backs generally they're not as bustable as some other positions, right? You get defensive back, they're probably going to be pretty good for a long time in the league. I don't remember a bunch of big bust at defensive back.
Yeah.
So that's the one nice thing.
I love it. And Kobe kind of, played for Kansas, who was supposed to have a big year, and they kind of fumbled it there for a while. Then they started playing well the second half of the year. So he kind of went under the radar a little bit, because I think if they'd had a much bigger season and gone, been competitive in the Big 12 and competitive with the playoff, there would be more talked about him. But because I think he's a great athlete,
especially with a name like Kobe Bryant. So
that doesn't hurt, does it?
That doesn't hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. As like when you talk about elite athletes, I'm thinking Kobe Bryant, Dale Earnhardt. That's mostly those two, Kobe and Dale.
Yeah. All right, we got a comment here from Peter Wilson. Says Will Howard is the next equals Tom Brady.
Yeah.
So, I don't know about that one, Peter. I'm not taking it that far. I'm not saying he's going to win 7 Super Bowls, but
no,
I do like Will Howard though.
Yeah, I like Will Howard, but I mean, not Tom Brady. No, I don't know. Maybe the next, I don't know. What's like the next Ryan Tannehill. Maybe.
Matt Fitzpatrick.
The next Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yeah, the next.
Yeah, thank you, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
So, all right, we can, listen. One of the best receivers in the country, Tez Johnson out of Oregon, playing with his buddy and friend Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, that's a cool story. Wow.
Yeah, and Tez, just not a real big guy. You know what I mean? I'm thinking, okay, he's going to be, but just dominated. And it looks like they're calling him unguardable here at the Senior Bowl week. And which is that's how they described me in high school. They said, this guy is unguardable.
This is the 5'11" white, just unguardable high school receiver.
Yeah.
With a crazy mustache.
Yeah. See, hey, Josh Mancuso has been the most dominant receiver. Sorry, Tez Johnson.
No, that's not you, dude. That's
my bad.
This is recent.
Yeah. Beating defenders in one-on-ones and team drills. Check. Quickness and route running. Check. Comparisons to Ladd McConkey. Right.
Okay.
McConkey.
Yeah.
And Tank Dell, I could see it. I could see Tez being, he's got what's the kid from Alabama a couple years ago that won the Heisman, Devontae Smith.
Smith.
Not real big, but can run and just running some crazy routes. Caleb, look at these routes these kids
Let's
running
see 'em.
during Senior Bowl. Look at this. Look at that.
Huh.
Oh, look at that cut.
Yes.
Dude fell down. He fell down. Oh,
Oh,
no, it's
baby,
over
there's another
now.
one.
To the left. Nope, to the right. There you go. Look at that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Are you sure this isn't your high school clips here?
Yeah, that's me, right? Actually, I'm number 8 in that one. Actually,
You are.
couldn't guard him. Look at the speed, dude.
Yeah,
That is
seriously.
They overthrew him a little bit. Who threw that
Bang.
one? Was that Will Howard throwing that one?
Dude, is this Milrose's streak of 8 throws right there at the back?
That's
That ball was 20 yards over his head like 3 throws
Yeah.
ago.
Look at this cut. That's a deep end pattern there. And then look at this off the ball. Zoop, gone.
All right,
It's over.
it's this throw. Look at this throw, and then this next throw. Look at this next
21.
throw where it goes. Look at this throw. That's almost not even a frame.
Golly.
Who threw that ball?
Andre the Giant couldn't catch that ball. It was way up. I mean,
dude, that better have been an assistant coach or something. What in the world?
golly.
All right. Anyways, move
Incredible.
on. Yeah, that ball was 40 yards over his head.
I tell you who's not going to be guarding Tez Johnson, and that's Shiloh Sanders. No offense to Shiloh. They're saying he's struggling. Now, it's not my words. I don't know. I mean, I'm not an expert. I'm just a host of this greatest podcast ever to exist.
Right.
Show. But Shiloh, great athlete. He's a Sanders. He's going to play ball, but they're saying he's struggling. I don't know why. I mean, he's rough showing. Scout saying he's relying more on talent than effort. Well, that's not a good sign. I mean, you're going to go out there and just be like, I'm just good. I don't need to try. I just can.
That ain't going to work in the NFL. They cut that stuff out fast.
That's out. Yeah. It's like me. It's like when I was in school and I was like smart for a little. They thought I was smart, and so I was like, I don't have to try. And then and then later I realized I wasn't as smart, and then I had to try, and so he needs to try. So you've got game lacks depth beyond his physicality. A projected day 3 pick.
Wow.
I mean the kid. We're a couple of armchair quarterbacks here talking about these guys. Right, he's struggling. Like he's a lot better than I am, but I hope he does well. But
me too. I'll tell you this though: if you're a day 3 pick in the NFL and you're relying on talent more than effort, you ain't gonna be there long.
Mm-mm.
I mean, if you're a first round pick, they might give you a year, but if you're a day 3 pick, you ain't gonna make it through training camp if they don't think you're really there.
No, I agree.
They pay those guys a lot of money and they're ruthless. So
look at Rudiger. Okay, no talent, all effort, baby.
Yeah. He did not play in the NFL.
He did not play in the NFL, but he did play that one game at the end.
Yeah,
for Notre Dame.
That's right.
Made a tackle, and they carried him off the field.
Yeah,
so
that's it.
It's pretty awesome. Anyways, Miranda, what's Miranda saying here? Miranda, Buckeyes for once agree with brother Caleb over Josh on your natty picks. You did pick Ohio State. Yeah, and I picked Notre Dame and lost that one. Good job, buddy.
Yep.
Last Senior Bowl update here we got for you is just see Jimmy Horn Jr., wide receiver out of Colorado, just apparently dominating out there. So you just hear about Travis Hunter coming out of Colorado, but then you got this Horn guy who is like, I can play ball too. Watch this. So he's got some good reviews here saying, putting on a route running clinic, leaving DBs in the dust.
We like it.
Thought he was a day 3 pick with his boy Shiloh. Now his stock is soaring. Scouts now consider him a 3rd round talent.
Wow. I mean, that's a huge change, right? What in the world?
If you're a wide receiver going in the 3rd round, you're probably going to play,
Yeah, you're definitely going to play. That shows you how big these combines, tryouts, bowl, like these exhibition bowl games are.
Yeah.
For folks that are not like in the top 10 draft picks. I mean, they're huge. Like there's some guys making some big moves here.
So. Yeah. Yeah. Do you think if you were to go to the Senior Bowl now and do some practices with these guys, do you think you could keep up?
For half a second, and then they would just run by me. What about you?
Yeah. Oh, I could definitely keep up. Yeah.
You can keep up.
I feel good about. I feel like I can get right in there.
Yeah.
In the mix. I think I'm kind of small, kind of kind of rascally. It's like it can kind of sneak around a little bit. You
Yeah.
know, like
You pester them.
yeah, yeah, and they're not going to tackle me because I'm just going to kind of like bob and weave and just kind of, I probably do a lot of sliding.
Yeah. Slide in the Senior Bowl. I love that move.
avoid the tackling.
I'm headed out of bounds.
Yes. So here at the college football's greatest sports show, what do we call this thing? Greatest freaking college sports show on the internet. We love our sponsors. One being Game Time Sidekicks, which you can see my hat here. Game Time, that's what that is right there. It's a GT.
Love it,
buddy. Look, drinking out of the North Carolina giant silver mug here for this is my Belichick offering. And look, have you seen Ramses?
I like that mascot, Ramses.
Mascot.
He's an underrated mascot for sure.
He is.
Yeah.
Just a big old ram. Have you ever seen this guy live or seen pictures of him? This dude's got a set of kahunas on him. That's
really?
They like drag the ground. They're huge. I don't even know how he walks. I don't know how he walks.
Yeah.
Just
sounds like Dale
Earnhardt with them suckers. Yeah. So anyways, GameTimeSidekicks.com. Go get some drinkware. Any team you want, bada bing. You got it. Other sponsor. I see your hat there. Tell it. Well, who's that on your hat there?
Alumni Hall. You know about Alumni Hall.
This is Alumni Hall right here. This Volunteers.
They got good stuff, man.
Great stuff. If you're a fan of the Tennessee Volunteers, Clemson, Auburn, Georgia, Florida State, LSU, Alabama, Virginia Tech, Nebraska, let's go. Let's just keep going. I mean, go alumnihall.com. You get all the good hats, shirts, all the stuff. Man, they got good stuff. And all these, if you live near a college, they have stores there as well. So,
or if you're there for a game.
Yeah. alumnihall.com. Go get it. Go order some stuff.
That's what I do when I go to Knoxville for the Tennessee games. When I go to Alumni Hall, typically, obviously I don't live in a college town, but always go in there and browse around.
Yeah, see what you can find. You usually walk out with more stuff than you wanted to. I mean,
Yeah, that's it. That can happen there. Yeah,
I'm just gonna grab a shirt.
Yeah,
like I like these. I like these hats. Look, they got a keychain. Oh, look, they got a lot of good stuff in there. So
that's right.
Beware. It's good. So, well, we here at the greatest sports show in the world are very excited about next year. I mean, I can't believe we're talking about next year. It's gone by fast, buddy. And I think we need to look at next year because everybody wants to talk about who's the favorites next year. And I tell you what, we're going to learn a lot about these teams in week one, baby.
Let's see it. This is the biggest week one in college football history.
Opening slate. With our friends here, all college football, hooking us up. I mean, it isn't hooking us up. We just pulled it from their Instagram, hoping online. Awesome week one of college football. So first game. I can't believe this is a game to open the season. Either. Ohio State versus Texas.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
That's Columbus, incredible.
In Columbus. The shoe, Arch Manning coming into Columbus as the top dog now, facing the great Buckeyes. What a game.
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, that's going to be, I'm sure game day is going to be there. It's going to be bananas. It's going to be awesome. The shoe's a cool venue. I'm going to say it's a cool venue, not the greatest venue because of the bathroom situation. Right. But besides the bathroom situation, it's a really cool venue that's in need of an upgrade. But at any rate, it's going to be awesome to watch that game on TV. I can't freaking wait.
And it won't be cold at that point. Who wins this game? If you had to pick right now, who wins this?
I mean, I'd probably pick Ohio State, but it's just it's so far you don't know. They're losing Will Howard, but they're bringing so much of that team back. That's the thing. They got Jeremiah Smith coming back. They got Tate, the other receivers, coming back. And Texas obviously has got their quarterback situation handled with Arch.
Yeah, they're good.
So, God, it's hard to pick this far out. I'd just probably pick Ohio State because they're at home. But what about you?
I think I would pick Ohio State as well. I think
would you?
I think Texas will have a good yeyear, but that's way to kick off the year. If you're worried about strength of schedule, don't be anymore for the Texas Longhorns. Because they're going to go through the SEC gauntlet. Plus, they're taking on the defending national champions in opening game. I give the edge to Ohio State for sure. The other game I'm super excited about is Notre Dame going to Miami. This feels like a 1995 matchup.
Oh, it does. It does. Yes, absolutely. It's an old school feeling matchup right here. Dude, my question is Miami going to be decent without Cam Ward? Or are they just going to pull Florida State? Maybe not go that crazy, but are they going to fall off,
Yeah.
So I'd take Notre Dame in this one. What about you?
Well, Carson Beck's gone over to Miami now. He transferred to Miami. So
Oh, that's true. That's true. I forgot about that. That's right.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. I don't know how much success he's going to have there.
He's going to have success.
I think you're the one that said it. I think a couple weeks ago that he's going to pad those stats, going to slinging the ball throughout the ACC.
Yeah, but he's going to give some Wake Forest.
Notre Dame loses a lot. They don't lose, Jack Kaiser on defense. They lose a lot of guys, but they still return some. Jeremiah Love on offense. That receiver right there, great runner, whatever his name is, great catcher. Yeah. He's coming back. I mean, so it'll be a great game. I give the edge to Notre Dame in this one. I think they're going to be tough next year.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, Miami, it's hot in the early part of the season. Like everyone talks about the cold weather games, but there's something to say about playing in Miami in this will be early September or late August, one of the two. It doesn't matter. It's Miami's going to be hot as hell. So yeah, it's going to be crazy. It'd be curious to see if that game kicks off in the afternoon at Hard Rock Stadium. It's going to be 10 million degrees.
Yeah.
And probably will because they're going to put Texas and Ohio State in the night slot.
Yeah,
and that game's going to be night. So this game could be an afternoon game. Woo!
Oh boy, it'd be sweating in parts of your body you didn't know you had.
Yeah.
Going to be wow. Looking forward to that. Another big one that would can't believe I'm saying this. Kansas State versus Iowa State. Iowa State apparently now just an absolute juggernaut in athletics as their basketball team is ranked in the top 5.
Yeah.
And now they got a great football team. So should be a good game. That's pretty exciting. Now they're going to Dublin. This is a week 0 game over in Ireland, like we had with Florida State and Georgia Tech. And nothing says Irish like Kansas State and Iowa State. Don't you think?
I 100% agree.
Yeah,
it's like great cream and a pint of the black stuff, Guinness.
It's right, the dark stuff, man. That's going to be good. Who wins that one?
Oh man, I don't know. How about I'm going to take Iowa State?
I'm going Iowa State too. I was hard on them this year, but I think they're pretty good. They won their bowl game. They did well. So let's go Iowa State. But opening game for the Tennessee Vols. Your Tennessee Volunteers is against Syracuse. I like it. Battle of the Orange. Who's the real orange? Well, we know who the real orange is. It's the one on the right there. It's the Tennessee.
Remember that's also a old school matchup. They played that game in 1998, I think, is where Tennessee opened the season. Jamal Lewis had a big game there. Yep. Was it Jamal or was it Travis Hunter or
Travis Henry?
Henry.
I believe it was Jamal at the beginning of the year.
Yeah,
and then
it was Jamal, and then he got hurt.
Yeah,
and that's when Travis Henry came through.
Imagine having Jamal Lewis and he gets hurt, and you're like, "Oh, it's okay. We have Travis."
Travis Henry, dude, they were so steady. No wonder why they won a natty.
And behind him was Travis Stevens.
Remember yeah,
that was nuts.
They were nuts.
And Syracuse had Donovan McNabb at quarterback.
They were
big team. I mean, they were good, and this came down to it was a game-winning field goal by Jeff Hall at the end to win the game in the Carrier Dome. Up there at Syracuse, and now they are coming down to Atlanta. So,
man,
more of a home crowd for Tennessee, I'm sure. But I like this matchup. I think this is a great matchup for Tennessee. I think I think they win the game, but I'm sure Syracuse will have their offense rolling. They've done some great things up there with the football program. I mean, they've got it going on.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a good game. But I think Tennessee gets it done.
Absolutely. No, I called them in a big upset at the end of last year. Who did they beat? I want to say Miami, wasn't it? That knocked Miami out of the playoff. They're a tough team. Yep. I'm really glad Tennessee's not playing them in the Carrier Dome for sure.
Yeah.
But it's going to be super awesome in Atlanta. I'm going to take the Vols. I think Tennessee will win the game, but it's good. I'm just glad that they're playing a real team and not playing like, Louisiana Southwestern A&M to open up the season. So
yeah. I like Peter Wilson says Tennessee hangs 50 on Syracuse and wins a close game. That'd be great. Like close one. I hope our defense doesn't win a close one with 50. That means we gave up like 45. And I don't want to see that happen. So I'm thinking I don't know. Our offense is going to be something to watch next year. But all right, so another big game opening. This is all opening week. Like this is this is like the first.
Just keeps going.
TCU at North Carolina.
Cool.
Really cool matchup. Let's go Heels, baby. How about them Tar Heels? Belichick coming in wearing the Carolina blue. TCU played in the national championship just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Not the team that they've had in the past, but I know they've reloaded and they're going to be ready to go. Really fun game to watch here. What do you think about this?
The big story obviously is going to be what's Bill Belichick's team look like, right?
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that. I want to say they're going to win, but I don't know, man. He's got a lot to put together in the first game, 1 week. God, what do you think? I don't know.
I'm going with the Horned Frogs in this opening game here. I think it takes them a little bit, like you said, to get going, and I think they end up having a decent year. People are projecting North Carolina to be in the playoff. That's outrageous, in my opinion. I don't think because Belichick ain't no savior. Like he's gonna. I mean, they're going to be competitive, but I think they lose this one at home, and that's a real big bummer for the fans and for the people. But I think they recover. They have a little run in the ACC. When they finish 8-4.
Yeah, I like it. A lot of rumors about North Carolina moving to the SEC and Bill Belichick being a part of that. I mean, that rumor mill is turning. I might do some research on that and bring it to next week's show, but man, it's going crazy right now that ESPN is targeting hard because they know Carolina wants to leave. That's pretty much known for either the Big Ten or the SEC. Obviously, ESPN wants to keep Carolina in the SEC for basketball and then also for brand football. So there's a whole rumor mill about them ESPN trying to pull them out over the SEC. So we'll see.
Trying to keep them in the ACC for
no,
basketball?
No, sorry. They're trying to get them to go to the SEC because if they go to the Big Ten, they're going to end up in Fox. Right?
Oh man,
So if they go to the Big Ten, they're now kind of a Fox team, and so or ACC is still ESPN. So the rumor is ESPN is pushing and trying to manipulate it so when they leave the ACC, they'll come over to the SEC.
Yeah.
So that's all interesting to me.
It is. I just can't imagine. I love to hear what people say. If you guys are watching live, drop in the comments. Just say, do you think North Carolina should go to the SEC?
Yeah.
Tell us if you think they should or not.
Dude, what?
I mean, would you want to see that happen?
What the hell would happen to their football team if they went to the SEC?
They'd get destroyed.
I mean, I don't know if they'd win a game in that conference.
They'd get destroyed.
Right now. No. I don't even think they'd beat Vanderbilt this year. Maybe they could have beat Mississippi State. I mean, I don't know. Maybe the hope is they would get money and recruits would come and they would improve their. But I mean, as it stands now, I don't think North Carolina could win a game in that conference.
No,
I swear.
I give him one game. They could beat Mississippi State if they played this past year's Mississippi State team.
If they got them on the schedule, they may not even get them.
Right. If North Carolina faces Georgia, Alabama, LSU, Ole Miss, Tennessee, South Carolina,
Oklahoma, Texas,
they're done. No,
Missouri, they ain't beating Missouri.
No, I think it's I don't understand this. I get ticked off. I don't understand why we need to keep adding. Why do we need to have all these a couple super conferences? Like, why can't we just have the conference? Like, just stay in your conference. Like the ACC is you got Miami and Florida State, and you got Clemson. Like, it's a good conference. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know why.
Here's the craziest part, Josh. Listen to this. The craziest part is in basketball this year, I'm not sure North Carolina would win a game either in basketball. That's unthinkable, but I swear, I don't know. They might beat a couple teams like LSU and maybe South Carolina, but they wouldn't compete in the SEC in basketball now. That's bananas.
No, SEC is dominating basically every major sport. I mean, no, I better just slow down for a second. Everybody, Big Ten owns the college football. I get it. All right, so.
I don't agree with that.
Championship. Feinbaum said it, it was like Big Ten. I don't know about that. SEC, I still think is
still the deepest and most talented league.
100%.
I mean, even in the Big Ten, look, Ohio State is guaranteed to make the playoff every year. Look at their schedule. There ain't no way they possibly would not make the playoff. I mean, so you get in the playoff, you're gonna have a chance to win it. I mean, So anyway.
Laura here, she says, you're right about the mega conferences. Big 10 should be changed to Big 18. I mean, Yeah, and
I
more.
know.
It's going to end up being more. It's going to be the Big 20, the Big 22. I just don't like it. I don't like the way college football is going with these mega conferences. I would rather see less of a centralization of teams and more regionalization of teams, and go backwards a little bit. I want to see teams play. Have a 12-game schedule
Yeah.
where they play the 9 other teams in their conference, because there's 10 total teams in their conference, and then they play 2 bonus games outside the league against good teams, not
Against real teams.
real teams,
Yes.
right? So if you're an SEC, let's say you're Georgia, and you have your full slate of, you play 9 conference games, all right, you're the 10th in the
Yep.
conference, and then you play, a Texas Tech, and you play,
Syracuse.
a North Carolina or a Syracuse or a Clemson or whoever. I mean, and everybody does it. I would much rather see that happen. So, anyways, so
Yeah.
another big. So we're still trying to get through this first weekend of college football next year. I'm stoked. I'm ready for the season to
I
start right
know.
now.
Me too. Me
Let's
too.
go. Utah at UCLA, not like a huge game, but I mean, still Utah. Everybody loved Utah. Oh, preseason last year, Utah was going to win. Utah blew it all year long. I mean, they just
Yeah.
blew. And so UCLA was just kind of an up and down team, generally tanked, but had a couple where they just peaked and just upset some people. You're like, what's happening? So could be interesting to see how these teams regroup out there in the on the West Coast, and might have to go to that game. Looks like a good one in UCLA. But who do you think wins this game?
UCLA is an ACC school now. Isn't that right?
Very Big 10.
Or they're Big 10. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Utah's
So Big 12.
Big 12. Yeah.
So yeah, no, it's exciting. I hope the best for UCLA. It's good to we need to get some more West Coast teams playing good besides just Oregon.
I
I
agree,
think that's a
100%.
big part of the country. I want to see some of those teams get relevant.
West Coast is a big part of college football. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
USC, Oregon, Washington. These are teams we want to see. Arizona State play well. Like we that's good for college football when they are playing well, and it's not just the Big Ten and the SEC. This game, I think. I don't know. I like UCLA at home. I think they might rebound. I think Utah is going to be another disappointment. I mean, I just don't see. They have, Cam Rising came back. He was going to be their leader, for his 100th year of college football, and they just had a rough year. I'm taking the Bruins in this. So, yeah.
I agree. So looking at next is Alabama and Florida State. This is all on the same weekend. Alabama at Florida State. This is awesome.
That's a great game. That's a great game. Florida State has reloaded majorly. They have hit that portal, and they stole players from Tennessee. They got, they are loading.
Yeah. Squirrel White went there.
Yeah, loading up. And Alabama, got a new quarterback. They got a lot of new players, but they're going to be ready to go. This is going to be a good game, I think. I think Alabama wins the game. I think it's hard to come back from Florida State from a 1-12 season or whatever they had. That was bad. It's hard to come back from that and then play Alabama in your first game and win that game. I think Florida State should be happy if they are competitive in that game, and then they go on to have a good turnaround season and get it at, get 7-5, 8-4, 9-3 if they go go crazy. But yeah, I'm taking the Crimson Tide. Boy, a great game.
Great. I mean, a lot of pressure on both these coaches. DeBoer and Norvell are going to, I mean, they're like already on the hot seat and they haven't played a game. Like, this is going to be a pressure pack. I think it's honestly bigger for Mike Norvell because he's going to have less chances. Like, Alabama is going to play Tennessee and Auburn and other big schools. And Alabama could win that game and still have a really terrible season. Florida State, if they lose that game, can still have a really great season because they're going to play in the ACC. So, but still, ton of pressure on both these coaches.
For sure. Doesn't affect their conference schedule, like you said, but going to be a great game to watch. Our boy David Miller says, seems you can now you can poach any college football player or coach every year. Even the NFL doesn't allow that. I mean, you got to go. There's a process to go through with in the NFL and free agency and all these types of things. I mean, it does feel that way a little bit, like they're poaching, like they're just kind of, they're tampering and all the things that you talk about. So they got to get a handle on this stuff because it's just the coaching carousel now there's a player carousel.
Yes.
Every year you're like, I wonder where this player is going to go next year because they're not sticking around.
Yes, absolutely. It's free. It's like massive free agency for all players and all coaches at
Yeah.
all times. I mean, it's
Yeah.
nuts. It is nuts.
Uh,
This might be one of my favorite games on the schedule this week. LSU and Clemson.
woo, the Tigers versus the Tigers, baby.
In Death
Woo-hoo.
Valley. Clemson's Death Valley.
Clemson's Death Valley. I know.
Yeah.
What these teams just
We'll see.
copying each other? They both got Death Valleys, both the Tigers, be original, for goodness sakes.
Dude, is Chip Kelly going to be able to win an opening week game? That's what I want to know. Not Chip Kelly.
Brian Kelly.
All right, Brian Kelly.
Yeah,
Is
too
he
many
going to
Kellys out
finally
there.
win? Is he finally going to win one to start the season? They do every year. They come into the season, they're awful to start.
I'm going to go out and say I don't think they are. I think Clemson win. I think Clemson is a playoff team next year. I think Cade Klubnik and company. And look, speaking of the portal, Dabo's hit the portal, baby. They've got some great portal transfers coming in. Clemson has one of the least number of players transferring out. They didn't have very many leave at all.
Cool.
They're buying into the culture there. I'm a big Dabo fan. I'm a big fan of the program. I think they have the pieces next year to make a run, and I think they beat LSU primarily because it is a home game for Clemson. I think if it's in Baton Rouge, I think LSU might, because Nussmeier's coming back, probably maybe the most talented quarterback coming back next year, honestly.
Right. Right.
But so is Klubnik. I like Clemson to win this game, but I love number 8 versus number 7 is what they're currently ranked. I mean, give it to me. I'd love to go this game. We should be at the Tigers versus Tigers game.
Yeah, we might actually be able to go. I mean, that's driving distance for both of us. But I'm going to take LSU, even though they seem to drop the ball every year. But I think they were really disappointed this year with that loss to USC to start the season. They were, Chip Kelly, he did it again. And he slammed his hand on the table. Another one. But at any rate, I think they're going to circle this on the calendar this year and say, look, we're not doing this again. We are coming out and we're winning that opening game, and we'll take them.
So. That's a good pick. This is a must-win game, I feel like, for both these teams, because they're both in the conversation for the playoff, and I think they're both going to have pretty tough roads. It's big. I mean, it's a tough opening game for both teams. So
I don't think it is for Clemson. I think it is for LSU, but LSU's not for Clemson, because I mean, Clemson can run through that ACC schedule and end up in the championship game and then get walloped in the first round, no problem. I mean, that's ACC, no big deal. That's what they do.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's. I'm excited about it. I can't wait to see it. Okay, so another game. Okay, look, we got Baylor at Auburn. What an interesting matchup. Like, I love these unique matchups. I want to see, it's almost like a bowl game. With these two teams, they're never going to meet unless it's a bowl game or some, opening day game. Baylor, who came on strong and with a decent year, a better year than Auburn had. I'm excited to see this game. I think Auburn needs to win this game. They need to start to say, hey, we're competitive again. Do you think Auburn is going to start to become the Auburn of old next year? Can Hugh Freeze get them back to glory, or have they fallen too much and they're too far behind the bigger schools? Not bigger, but the more highly ranked schools right now. The Georgias, Alabama, Tennessee's, Ole Miss. Are they too far behind?
No, they're not, because in this day and age with the NIL and transfer portal, you're never too far behind. I mean, you're always just a couple dollars away from getting back to relevancy fast. And Auburn has the financial resources to get back there. Hugh Freeze can absolutely bring him back, but this is going to be another. You talk about pressure pack coach. I mean, Hugh Freeze has got to be on the serious hot seat at this point. Yeah. So this is a massive game for him. I think they're going to win it at home. Yeah, he's got to show improvement, but we'll see. If not, he's going to be on his way out. That's what I think.
I'm with you. No, I think it's a must-win game for Hugh Freeze. I think Auburn lights it up. I really do. I think they come out on fire. I think they're like, we ain't doing this anymore, right? My father-in-law, Brian Smith, he would be rolling over right now if he knew how bad Auburn has gone down. I mean, they've got work to do. I don't think they're not going to stand for it. I think they come out guns blazing against the Baylor Bears and start the season well. Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that. That would not surprise me. All right, we got a couple more left. We got Cincinnati plays at Nebraska. Nebraska's trying to get back to being relevant. I mean, they are on their way back. I'm going to take Nebraska. They're not at home. They're at the games of Kansas City, but I'm still going to take Nebraska.
That's perfect. It's in Kansas City. Look, that's Patrick Mahomes right there.
Yeah, it really looks just like him, doesn't
Getting
it?
dressed up there for playing in Kansas City. That's a Nebraska quarterback, Dylan Ravioli, whatever his name is. I mean,
Yeah.
since the Bearcats, well, let's Miller in here mentioned a mascot. What? How about a Bearcat? How about that? Let's just take a bear and a cat and just throw them together.
They stole that from Rocky Top. That's the half bear, the other half cat.
They did. Everybody steals from Tennessee. Tennessee is the only. I mean, we're
you know what? They took part of our song in the transfer portal. Made it their mascot. That's
somebody authorized that. So they're tampering. They shouldn't have been doing that.
Yeah.
They're taking Nebraska in that game. I like Nebraska to have a pretty decent year next year.
Yeah, I hope they do. Another team I want to see back. Really great fan base.
Yeah, I know. Okay, last one for that. Oh, this is all opening slate, guys. Like if you're not tuning, we just go through all the from Ohio State and Texas to Alabama, Florida State, and now South Carolina and Virginia Tech. Another game in Atlanta here. I mean, could be a close one, just because of it being technically neutral site, because Virginia Tech is certainly on the up and up. But I love this, Shane Beamer going against his dad's old team, Virginia Tech, down there in Atlanta.
Yeah,
I think Tech makes it interesting for a little bit, but I think Carolina just romps them by the end.
I think Carolina will get them. I'm curious to see if they're going to be able to sustain success. Like they did. Is that a 1-year thing, or is Beamer able to do this every year? But I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say Carolina wins this game handily.
Yeah, I like it. Like, look at Lenore, looking like Steve Urkel in there playing football.
He does look like Steve Urkel.
That's good stuff, man. I love it. Lenore Sellers, dude's big. Yeah, people are high on him next year, saying he's one of the best quarterbacks coming back in the country, definitely in the SEC. Okay, all right, Caleb, I got something for you.
All right, let's see it.
That was opening slate for next year. All right, we got a couple more segments, and then we're done. So, I got some trivia for you. Okay. There are only 5 teams. All right. Only 5 teams in the history of college football that have never had a 9-loss season.
Okay.
Only 5.
All right.
Okay. Ever. We're going to see if you can guess them. And you guys, if you're watching live, if you want to comment here, if you want to, who you think one of the 5, if you want to give Caleb some help, see if he can figure them out.
Please put some in the comments.
Give him some help.
Who do you think your 5 are?
5 teams without a 9 season. Or a 9-loss season. So let me get my answers here. Make sure I got them good. Okay. All right. So who's your first pick?
Alabama.
Is Alabama one?
Okay. Wow.
That's what Alabama's had a 9-loss season. That's crazy thing to think of.
Ohio State's my second pick for sure.
Yes. Ohio State is, in fact, yes, is one.
What about Michigan?
No, not Michigan.
What about Sewanee, the school of the South?
Sewanee. If they are not recorded. They're not recorded in this.
Okay.
So,
okay. The original SEC team. Sewanee.
Yeah, they're the OGs. All right, so you got Ohio State. David Miller says they've only never lost 8 games ever. We'll fact check you on that one, Miller. Okay.
I just tried Michigan. That was in the comments.
No, sorry, Evangelina. Who else? Never had 9 losses.
I like that name, Evangelina.
That's awesome. A great name.
If
I was a girl, I would like that name. I think.
I think so too. I wish you would give me somebody besides Michigan, because I already said it.
I mean, when you think about the powerhouses of college football, I mean, these are names you would think of.
Texas.
Nope, not Texas.
Oklahoma.
Yes, Oklahoma, the Sooners, Boomer Sooner. That's 2.
What about Tennessee?
Tennessee is the 3rd. Never had a 9-loss season. How about it?
Here's the thing that's weird about this is you got to think about schools. If they've been bad lately, they're probably not on the list, because even as bad as Tennessee, they were horrific. they played enough cupcake games in the modern day schedule to win like 4 or 5 of them.
Right, to keep
Right.
them in there.
So
Yeah.
it's really probably about losing seasons like way in the past, like in the 70s and 60s is the ones
Yeah.
that clip people.
100%.
What about USC?
No, that's a good guess though. I would have guessed USC myself if I hadn't looked at the answers.
All right, Evangelina says Clemson.
Yeah. Miller, those are facts, Josh. Yes, we had Luke. He fact checked for us there. You're right. Only never lost 8 games in the season. I love it. I love it. So you, Miller, you want an OSU mug? I'll get you. I'll see if I can get you one. All right. I'll give you. You want a hint for this last one? Last two. You got
Yeah.
two left. This quarterback. There's a quarterback just transferred from one of these teams to the other team.
Just now?
Just happened this year. Yes.
Miami.
Yes.
So then the other one's Georgia.
That's right. Yeah.
Wow.
Those are your 5 teams.
Wow.
Ohio State, Oklahoma, Georgia, Tennessee, Miami. Never lost 9 games. All right. Yeah. That's credit where credit's due. You know, and yeah, they got cupcake teams, but you got to be consistently decent in order to do that. I mean,
look at Florida State. I mean,
yeah.
Florida State went from undefeated to we're gonna lose like 15 in a row or something. It wasn't that many, but 8 in a row. Bad. Yeah.
Good job, Clemson. Good guess there, Evangelina. Yeah, that a lot of fun. Love that. Okay, last thing here we got to talk about before we sign off.
Yeah, here we go.
Is ESPN released their, and everybody's got their way too early top 25, right? I did not create one myself. I'm just going to rely on the experts at ESPN. Not yet. I may create one later. It'll probably be vastly different than this one. But let's bring up the ESPN way too early rankings for 2025-2026 season.
Oh.
What do you think? I mean,
okay. They're obviously putting a ton of transfer portal stuff in here, right?
Right.
Ohio State, Texas, that's fine with that. Penn State, I don't know, whatever, sure. Notre Dame, Georgia, the top 5 is okay. LSU, I think that's a pretty wild move to just put LSU
8?
there. 8. Now, I mean, LSU got destroyed at home by Alabama.
Yeah.
Absolutely destroyed. So, like, for them to all of a sudden jump to 8, they're putting a lot of money on their transfers panning out. We'll see. And for Tennessee to make the playoff and fall to 19 is pretty crazy too. That's rough to be 19 after they were the 3rd best team in the SEC and made the playoff. Like,
yeah,
and behind Florida. Did he put Tennessee behind Florida?
I did.
Like, I don't know, dude. This seems a little crazy.
Ole Miss at 25th.
Yeah.
I mean, BYU up at 9th. I claim BYU all year. They should have been ranked way higher. I think they won their bowl game. They finished like 12-2 or something. They had an incredible season.
Dude, South Carolina at 10?
At 10.
And they put Tennessee at 19? Like,
yes.
What? I mean, they got to be just trying to make projections based on the portal, and I get that.
Yeah.
But that's a little nuts.
Yeah. No Florida State in here. No Missouri.
Michigan at 21 is interesting. They had like a 5-loss season, didn't they?
They did. I think they're projecting them to be a little bit better next year, but Louisville in there, SMU still in there. SMU, another one of those teams that lost the least amount of transfers. They have very few. I think they only had like 2 or 3 people leave their program. But they got a lot in, similar to Clemson. So they're building a solid team. But that Ohio State, Texas is number 1 and number 2. I think that's fair to have those 2 teams at the top, and it'd be great because they're going to play each other week 1.
Well, it's fair, but ESPN wants to push that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're going to have game day. You want the number 1 and 2. You don't want number 1 and 4. You want number 1 and 2.
Number 1 and 2, baby. That's right. You got. I mean,
they're going to push that.
I think obviously the big question is going to be Georgia with Gunnar Stockton coming in. They lose Carson Beck. They lose Tate Ratledge on the line. ETN, Malachi Starks, Jalen Walker. They're losing a lot of guys, but I mean, Kobe's always reloaded and ready to go. Oregon losing some guys. I think when I look at sort of the biggest contenders here, I mean, I love your thoughts on this. I see Ohio State and Texas both being contenders. I see Penn State being a contender. I mean, they got Drew Aller back. They got, they're going to be right back in there probably, just like kind of in the same situation. I think, I don't know. I don't know that LSU belongs up there. I don't know that BYU makes a run. I think they're good, but I think they're going to probably lose a couple. I don't know. It's going to be tough to see. Who do you? I mean, if you had to pick, Caleb,
Yeah.
the Final Four here, almost like a March man. If you had to pick the final, who makes the Final Four? Who? I mean, just taking a whack at it. What do you think?
I mean, anyone in the top 5 is a pretty good guess because you got you've got the 2 most trustworthy SEC teams is Texas and Georgia. Now, the SEC's got a lot. You don't know what's going to happen at conference. It's so deep and so competitive. So anybody could end up coming out of that. But you'll probably get 2 teams from the SEC in at the fewest.
Yeah.
And the most trustworthy of those teams are Texas and Georgia. The Big Ten, Ohio State's guaranteed to get in. I mean, look at their schedule. There's just no way they're going to lose at Minnesota or Northwestern or any of those teams. And the way you can get into playoff now and lose really two games, there's no way they're not getting in. Penn State's in a pretty similar situation, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Penn State's going to do what they do. They're going to beat Maryland and
Rutgers.
Then they're in Rutgers, and then they're going to lose to Ohio State like they do every year, and then they're going to get in the playoff and go whoopee you. So, I mean, those are like shoe-ins, really. And then the same thing. I'm curious to see what the schedule is for the Irish next year. I don't really know their schedule, but So I don't know. The teams that I would be a little – I want to see if they can actually do it. LSU, there's going to be a big hype LSU. Can Brian Kelly actually do it? I mean, Brian Kelly's been the hype man since he showed up, and he ain't been the deliver. He ain't been the deliver on much, man, so far. Right?
No.
Including having one of the greatest quarterbacks in college football history in Jalen Daniels and doing absolutely nothing with it. It's one of the greatest shames in all of college football is that he wasted an absolute generational talent and got nothing back for it.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't trust Kelly yet to say, oh, yeah, they're going to do it. So, I don't know. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. What about you?
Well, I'm with you. And A&M being in here too and top. I feel like they're going to be another one of those teams that hanging around, but they're going to disappoint people
every year.
They're going to disappoint people. I don't see it happening. I think if I'm looking at playoff teams, I'm with you. Ohio State's in, Texas is in, Penn State's in. I think Notre Dame may go back. I think Georgia's back. I think you have a lot of repeat offenders here. I don't know that Oregon goes back. To be honest with you, I don't think they have the season. I think they're they're going to drop some games and may get overlooked.
I'll tell you who I got. Miami.
You think they're going?
Think about it. You got Carson Beck. You got that schedule. I mean, who are they going to lose to with Carson Beck? And then let's say they lose to Clemson. So what? They're still going to get in.
Right. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
They got Notre Dame. That opening game against Notre Dame.
Hey, let's say they lose to Notre Dame and lose to Clemson. So what?
Yeah.
They'll still get in at 10-2.
They're going to beat Florida State. Yeah, they're going to beat all these other teams. I agree. I feel like a team like SMU. I know they're bringing back a lot, but I don't know that they can sustain this success that they had last year. I mean, they were clearly outmatched in the playoff. Not saying they didn't deserve to be there, but they were outmatched and didn't really feel like they belonged. Arizona State, Sam Leavitt comes back, Scatterboo. Boo Boo's gone, and Illinois is an interesting choice here. I think they, but again, they're in a Big Ten team. I don't know what their schedule is either, but are they going to face Penn State, Ohio State? Are they going to face Oregon? I mean, does USC slip in here and beat one of these teams? Does UCLA come in here and beat one of these teams? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, that's what's hurting the Big Ten's depth in a lot of ways. They're probably never going to be as deep as the SEC, but the schools that they brought over from the old Pac-12 just stunk. And traditionally, you could get USC and UCLA to be really competitive in addition to Oregon, and it would make that conference quite a bit deeper. If they could do that. You know?
I agree. All right. If you have to pick a champion out of this, next year's champion right here, without even thinking about it, and we'll pull this clip out later next year and show that you're either right or you were wrong.
All right.
In late January, you're picking next year's national champion. Who you picking?
I'm going to pick Georgia. I'd
Okay.
pick Georgia. Yeah, I mean you're making a bet on their new quarterback Gunnar Stockton, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think Georgia will get there, and then once you get there, I still like Kirby Smart.
Yeah.
So, what about you?
You're taking Georgia. That's a great pick. Well, I mean, I think it's worth. I'm not going to pick them because they're the same. It's the same pick.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna take. You know, I don't know. I'll go. Well, yeah, well, I'll go Ohio State to repeat. We'll just do a
yeah.
repeat.
I thought about Ohio State because they're guaranteed to get there, so
Yep.
that's like the first mark check,
Right.
and then
They're returning all this talent.
Texas, and Georgia are all those three. I could like swap
Yeah.
any of those three into my
Yeah.
pick.
It's a strong top 5 right there, and I can't wait to see it happen. Oh God, Larry! Well, Heisman Dave needs early Heisman candidates. Yeah,
Yeah, he does.
we'll save it. All right, we'll do an official one another episode, Dave. But I think off the bat, if I had to think of a couple, I'm thinking Carson Beck.
Carson Beck. That's my pick. Carson
Going to
Beck.
put some numbers up that are outrageous. I'm thinking Cade Klubnik at Clemson is going to be up there.
All right.
I'm thinking Jeremiah Smith at Ohio State, wide receiver position, is going to be up there. I'm thinking
Smith will be up there.
I love to see Jeremiah Love. I'm a big fan of his from Notre Dame. I mean, a running back up there.
Yep.
Yeah, those come to mind right away. But we can do an official. We'll do an official way too early Heisman list. So,
yeah.
All right, look at that Alumni Hall hat. Looking good, buddy. Thanks to Alumni Hall for sponsoring this show and Game Time Sidekicks. Make sure you go to alumnihall.com, get all your gear there. Make sure you go to GameTimeSidekicks.com, get all your drinkware there. Make sure you're tuning in. HonorableMentionSports.com and all over social media. Follow us. We've got lots of great content coming your way, and we're trying to build this thing up. So give us a follow, share it, and yeah, thanks to everybody that tunes in and watches live. You guys are faithful. We appreciate that very much.
Yep.
And we'll see you next week.
All right, guys. We'll see you.